In the Cage, MMA Radio 99.1, the sports animal. You know the main event at UFC 258. It is Kamaru Usman defending his welterweight championship against our next guest. He is man that had a phenomenal 2020, and he has a shot to win gold. He is Gilbert Burns, and Gilbert joins us here on the show. Hey, Gilbert, Vince Ferrara here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Real pleasure. Gilbert, how you doing?
My pleasure, bro. I'm doing very good. I'm very excited. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to have you on, but you have a championship that's in front of you. How is this week of preparation hit you? The reality of the opportunity that you have.
Man, it's a blessing. I'm very excited. Brought my coach here with me, and then I got a lot of work to do. Still a lot of interview this week. I'm going to be very busy, but yeah, I'm excited. Like it's a opportunity that I've been uh, looking for so long, so much. Becoming a champion and working super hard and very excited, and then I earned that. I put a performance. I got a short notice. I got a lot of fights, and I'm here. One more night to becoming champion. And I'm very excited and cannot wait.
Obviously you have an unbelievable background in jujitsu as a champion, and the everything that you've accomplished from that standpoint, and you've really taken advantage of your recent fights in MMA. At what point, Gilbert, did it become more of a reality that you had a chance to be a UFC champion? When in your career in the UFC did that really hit you that this is a possibility for you?
Since the beginning, I always believed it. I always knew it could be a champion, and since the beginning, I have a high level training partners. As soon as I moved to on my first gym that I always my first ever MMA training was Extreme Couture when I was coaching Vitor Belfort in Jiu Jitsu.
Mhm.
And at the first time I saw Gray Maynard, Michael Chandler, Evan Dunn, and Martin Kampman, a lot of high level guys. And on the striking, on the MMA for sure, I was just a beginner. I didn't know how to throw a punch, so I was working a lot on that. But as soon as we were going to the grappling aspect, I was feeling great. I was submitting these guys, getting the good out of these guys. And since the beginning, I believe it. And then we moved to the Black Zillions. And then when I started training Eddie Alvarez, and then Cosmo Alexandre and Michael Johnson, and a lot of great guys. And I think when I saw it, I was training with Eddie a lot. And then Eddie moved to I moved back to Philadelphia, training in New Jersey. And when he became a champion, I was like, oh, okay. That was the first time when okay, that guy. And then I knew RDA too when RDA became a champion. So when these guys were becoming a champion, the guys that I know that I know they're normal, they're not, they're not superheroes, they're not superpowered, they just a smart guy working very hard and doing the right things and becoming a champion. That was when I like, okay, I can be a champion too. So I just gotta kind of see what these guys are doing and do a little bit my homework a little better, and then one day I'm gonna get there, and here I am. But I always believe it could be a champion.
Joined by Gilbert Burns, who will be in the main event at UFC 258 against Kamaru Usman for that welterweight strap in the UFC. The main card begins at 10 p.m., prelims at 8 p.m. on ESPN and ESPN Plus, and then the early prelims at 6:30. So a lot has been made, Gilbert, about your familiarity and having trained and teammates with Kamaru Usman. Who got the better of a lot of those exchanges in your training with him?
We both did. He's gonna be. I'm gonna be lying if I say it was only me,
Right.
and he's gonna be lying a lot if he said it was only him. So we were training partners. We're trying to make each other better. We were very smart about it. We put ourselves in the bad position a lot. I do put myself a lot in bad position, make sure I'm usually if I do get there in the fight. And yeah, we help each other a lot. To be honest, I help him getting ready to a lot of fights, and he helped me getting ready to a couple fights. And you can see it in both ways. You can see like our coach did a great job that we both fighting for the championship, or you can see that I don't know that I was doing good and then I don't know, but I see with the good eyes. I see there we both work super hard to be in that position, and I believe our coach did an amazing job. And it is what it is. Now we're fighting. Still got a tremendous respect for Kamaru. I like him a lot, like his family, and he's gonna be only business for me.
Now, people have pointed out that Henry Hoof is not going to be with you, and certainly familiar with both of you guys. What's that adjustment been like without him and training with your current group right now?
He helped me a lot with my training, but we didn't focus so much on Kamar. He just like, I'm gonna train you like I was training to another guy. I'm not going in the corner, and I respect that because he does, put both guys in that position. He was the guy that made Kamaru a champion
Mhm.
and defending the belt, and then he was the one that put me in this position to help me so much to put me in that position. I respect that a lot. The guy
Mhm.
say, hey, I like both guys a lot. I want to be out, but now it wasn't a lot of adjustments. I always have a lot of corners. I have like 8 corners. I have my brother. I have my brother Herbert. I got Henry. I got Vicente Luque. I got Daniel Evangelista, my coach from Brazil that is here. I got Coach Greg Jones, and I got Logan Storley. I got so many guys that sometimes depends on like on the Damian Maya fight. I want to bring my brother because the jiu-jitsu is very similar on my eyes. And then for this fight, I brought Wagner Rocha, Daniel Evangelista because Henry's not coming. Then Coach Greg Jones and Vicente Luke. And I also bring Logan Storley. He's going to be the guy that will be helping me on the warm-up. So it wasn't a lot of adjust. And I understand. I like my coach a lot. I don't want to put him on that situation. Another thing too, I want I want everyone that's in my corner. I want you to be there. I don't want you to be there thinking like, oh, but I like the other guy too, or I don't want to go. No, if you're
Mhm.
feeling like that, don't come. I want everyone that is going to be out there to help me out, to give me the any adjust, to give me the ways, and that was okay for me. There wasn't no feelings. I still like Henry a lot. I still texting him every single day. We're still talking with each other. He's just not here, but still being my coach.
Gilbert Burns joining us here on In the Cage MMA Radio on 99.1, the sports animal here in Knoxville every Friday night, 8 to 9. So, Gilbert, when you're away from the sport of MMA, when I know you're in a camp and you're getting ready for it, but what are the things that kind of give you life balance when you need to step away from it and get right? What are some of the things you enjoy doing that helps you with that?
I'm a family guy, and always when I have a time when I can, I go out with my family. I got my wife Bruna, my 2 kids. I like to go to vacation with them. Every time that I got a time, I like to go to Brazil to see my parents. And but hey, I love the MMA. It's something that goes on my blood. I'm always watching the fights. I'm watching the interviews. I see who's coming up, who's the guys there, and I love to watch the fights. But another thing, without being a family time doing, I like to put my gi on back on my jiu-jitsu. That's a thing. I think that's my hobby. People think, oh, what's your hobby? And I say, I like to fish. I like to do a lot of things. I like to spend time with my family. But my favorite hobby is jiu-jitsu. Ways where I do clean my mind. If I need to clean my mind, I'm gonna put my gi on, go to an open mat, get a couple rolls in, and then that's where I forgot my problems. It's like my meditation. When I come and do a couple gi rounds, jiu-jitsu rounds with the gi, I just like so much.
Last thing, and we really appreciate your time. So you guys are very familiar with one another, you and Kamaru Usman. How do you envision this fight going? How do you think it will go down?
You go down me finishing Kamaru Usman. That's the way I see. I do believe I have the powers to do that. I have the grappling and I have the boxing, the kickboxing to make that happen. A lot of power in my hands, submission from a lot of different angles. I believe I'll be the one that will be finishing Kamaru Usman, and that's it. I'm going to be very aggressive. I'm not going to let him comfortable over there, and be able to capitalize or a submission or a knockout.
It'll be so exciting. UFC 258, the main event. Kamaru Usman defending his welterweight championship against our guest, Gilbert Burns, who had such a phenomenal 2020. You can get the pay-per-view. 10 p.m. is when it starts on ESPN Plus. The main card, the prelims start at 8 p.m. on ESPN and ESPN Plus, and the UFC Fight Pass has the early prelim starting at 6:30. Gilbert, thank you so much. This is a great fight community here in Knoxville that really appreciates what a star you are in the sport, and how cool the opportunity is that you have at UFC 258. Best of luck to you. Much respect. Thank you so much, Gilbert.
Thank you, guys. That was my pleasure.
All right. Thank you. That is Gilbert Burns. We will talk about UFC 258 and preview it next on In the Cage MMA Radio 99.1, the Sports Animal.